A lot of them are team-oriented. A lot of them are individuals-oriented. And, yeah, that's everybody's dream, is to be in the Hall of Fame. Not everybody can get there. Everybody's dream, as far as a team, is to win the Super Bowl. Individually, the greatest honor that can be bestowed upon a player is to make the Hall of Fame. One of these days, I hope to be there. We shall see.
Well, Jim Kelly, I'd be willing to bet anybody out there $1. And if all of you bet me, I'm going to owe you a lot of money if I'm wrong, that he will definitely be standing there in Canton, Ohio someday, and he'll be talking about his career as a Buffalo Bill, making everybody proud. One of the things that I think is interesting over the 11 years of following him is not so much even what he did at the home games when that was all very exciting with the 80,000 fans. And remember, there were like 20,000 in 1986 when he came and he legitimized the franchise. But when the Bills would go on the road, and all of us have been on road trips, Josh, you weren't here then, but we would go on the road, and it was the way that the Bills became legitimate to the fans in the other stadiums. Kelly would walk out on that field or run out on the field with that swagger and that kind of a cockiness, and I know that kind of put people off sometimes when they met him personally, but that was his persona, and he was a leader to that team. But he would run out on the field in other stadiums, and you'd hear the boos, but those are boos of respect. And the Bills would run out on the field, and again, he personified the Buffalo Bills of '86 and on.
Well, Jim's going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, the stats are there. I just can't believe, though, that he made the decision this quickly to call it quits after the Jacksonville. After the Jacksonville game, he was talking about if conditions were right, playing another year or two. And I just can't believe that he made the decision that quick. Listen, I think Jim had a tough year. I think his skills deteriorated somewhat, but I still think he can play one more year in the right situation. Right, I just can't believe he made the decision that quickly.
What clearly happened was they came to him, they said, this is the way it's going to be, would you like to come back? And he said, under these circumstances, I don't think I do.
Well, the key phrase is the right situation. But also, when a guy like Jim Kelly, known for his toughness and his heart and his leadership, says it's not in his heart anymore, you're foolish to step out on a football field, because what happens when you say that? You get hurt.
And again, you know, his priorities are very different now. And I certainly saw the change once he was married to Jill and had Aaron, and he has another one here in a couple weeks. And he did mellow a little bit, no question about it. He used to come in after a loss when we were getting ready to tape our show, and I never knew what kind of mood he was going to be in. I'll tell you what, he was always in a good mood, win or lose, because he had somebody at home that didn't really care whether he won or lost. And I think he grew as a result of that, but now is the time to get out. Anyway, we're going to talk about some other sports tonight, too, Josh.
Yes,
all of a sudden here. Tell you what, it's been a sweet, sweet ride. These 11 years have been full of dreams that have come true, goals that have been achieved, and friends that, you know, that will last forever. And the thought and the things that I'm going to take away from Buffalo and away from this football team are nothing but sweet, sweet things. I wasn't sure when I arrived in Buffalo whether there were going to be a lot of cheers, a lot of boos. I wasn't sure because it was a team that I decided I didn't want to play for at the beginning. But all of a sudden, here I was, coming to a team that I hoped would accept me, a city that I hoped would accept me, fans the same way. I wasn't sure at that point what to feel, but all of a sudden, the press conference, all the people, it was, you know, a dream of mine to play in the National Football League, and here it was, right in front of me. I was going to be an NFL football player for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to give 100% to do what I feel is best for the Buffalo Bills organization. And like I said before, Ralph, well, Mr. Wilson has promised me some great people around me. And if I get some help and Coach Bola, I think we can definitely take this team to the championship.
It was something I've never heard before. The cheers brought chills to my body. It's a feeling that you wish that everybody would be able to experience. It's something that I've dreamed about ever since I was a little boy. My dreams when I was a young kid was to be an NFL quarterback. My dreams did come true, but it took a long time, and you know, it took a lot of hard work and dedication, but it's something I wanted to do. And the day I stepped on that field against the New York Jets at Rich Stadium is a day that I never, ever will forget. Ralph Wilson at that time was committed to bringing the winner to Buffalo. We saw what happened. I mean, he was brought the Andre Reeves, the Bruce Smith, Ken Halls, myself, among a lot of other players here. And the 11 years I've been a Buffalo Bill are probably the proudest moments of my life. I can remember my high school days, a guy by the name of Terry Henry, my high school football coach. And to this day, he's probably one of my best friends, a guy that not only taught me a lot on the field, but off the field as well.
Jim, you know, took charge of the team and took control then, too. And he led the team in just about everything that we did. I mean, he was our punter, our kicker. He played defense, he played offense, so he was on the field the entire time.
Okay, Jim, let's go.
So many people have impacted my life, but no more than the people in my family, my 5 brothers, my dad, and of course my mother that's looking down on me now. Everything I did on the field was a total reflection of what my parents meant, how they brought me up, everything they instilled in me to make sure that I was a good person, number 1, a good football player, number 2.
I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dream.
The best game as a quarterback, probably against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thrown for 6 touchdowns here at Rich Stadium. That was a very, very special day for me.
Oh, a bad snap, and Kelly somehow gets out of the trouble. And throws to Lofton for a touchdown.
Another very special day was the AFC Championship game when we beat the LA Raiders 51-3.
2 yards for the winners. 51-3. Buffalo represents the AFC in Super Bowl 25.
And probably one that is at the top of my list is the game where we played against the Miami Dolphins in Miami with, I think, 8 seconds to go on the clock. You know, on shotgun formation, nobody in the backfield but me. Ken Hall snaps the ball to me. I decided I see a little crease to the left side of the line. I run through it, I duck my head, I dive across the end zone with no time on the clock to win the game for the Buffalo Bills.
On the last play of the ball game.
I knew I only had a couple yards to go and I was hoping I'd make it, because if I did, boy, would I hear this the rest of my career.
Tell you what, that's the greatest display of quarterbacking I've ever seen. You're the best.
Probably the most disappointing game of my career. There's been a few of them, of course, the Super Bowls, but probably more than anything is the first Super Bowl, because I know how good our team was. I knew that we were the better team, but on that given Sunday, the Giants were. The field goal wide right is something that, you know, it's not just going to haunt me, it's going to haunt everybody. But the thing is, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You know, yeah, everybody says Scott Norwood missed a field goal. Scott won so many games for us during the course of that year. You can't just pinpoint and blame it all on him. It takes everybody. And yeah, it would have been a big, big game. Probably would have turned a lot of careers around.
Out there in the spotlight, you're a million miles away. Every ounce of energy you try to give away as the sweat pours out your body like the music that you play.
I had the option. I could have maybe played one more year here, but the thing is, I thought to myself, and after talking to Mr. Wilson, talking to my family, I knew the best thing for me to do at this time was to retire. I didn't want to play for anybody else. In my own heart, in my own mind, I really didn't want to play football again.
There I go, turn the page.
More than anything, I'm walking away on my terms. I'm walking away very proud of what I've accomplished, but also I'm walking away knowing that, you know, I played some great years with some great people, from the owner to the head coach to guys like Kent, Bruce, Thurman, Phil Hansen, some of the guys that have meant so much to me throughout my career, Mark Pike, Steve Tasker. I can go on and on and on because it's almost like one big family, and believe me, I will miss them. think of the National Football League, and you think of crazy fans, you think of people that you'd love to play in front of. You think of Rich Stadium. The people are just one big family, and they just cheer their team on to victory after victory after victory. That's why the 12th man went up there. To me personally, it's not the end of an era. For me, my life has just begun. There's two different lives. There's my professional side that's coming to an end, and there's a life as a husband, as a father, and as, I guess, a brother and a son to my family. My life has just begun. It's been a ride full of a lot of great dreams, a lot of lost hope in some cases, but more than anything, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and a lot of love.